Welcome back. I hate that voice. To another episode of Church Culture. I'm your host, number one, with my other three co-hosts who never want to say anything in this intro because I probably took over it. So we're back for another topic. And if y'all have any topics, whoever is listening to this podcast that y'all want us to talk about, go ahead and send us an email. The email is in the podcast details. I haven't got an email yet, so I'm just excited to just receive it. Anyway, so yes, good to be back on this rainy Sunday.
How was everyone's Sunday?
Just chill.
Manuel, how was your Sunday?
Great.
What'd you eat?
Pizza?
From where?
Sam's?
Man, Sam's is going down. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you mean going down?
It's not good anymore.
Oh, the pizza.
I like
it was
Costco
different, right?
pizza.
It's different.
Isn't
now.
it different?
It feels like you got to eat it right then and then. If not, you
Right
take it
when it
home or
comes out.
reheat it. It doesn't taste as good at all.
No, but
Yeah.
even before, it was a different type of pizza. I think they
The
changed
crust.
they changed
The crust was different. It was.
the ingredients or
It's
something.
thinner now.
I think it changed after COVID.
Ooh.
They got lazy.
The other crust company got COVID and they went down.
bounced.
They got crust COVID.
So now it's taken over by BlackRock.
What?
Telling you, we're getting canceled.
Sorry, Sandra, our only listener.
Yeah.
Abraham,
We can email you the audio file if you want.
how was Bedside Baptist?
Bedside Baptist. You know what? I didn't see it because I was editing the second episode of the podcast. It took me the whole time y'all were gone. So,
You're going to Baptist hell.
yeah. Wait, Baptist or Bedside Hill,
Bedside hell.
I guess.
Rin,
Ready?
how was your Sunday, even though I was with you?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Good?
That's it?
Yeah. Nothing crazy. We tried the new sandwiches from Sam's.
Have you tried them, Manuel?
No.
They're pretty good. They're not Chick-fil-A good, but they're good for
They're quick dinner.
They're quick dinner, and if you want a chicken sandwich on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah, because you can't get one.
Well, you
Not
can
the
get
holy one.
Not
Not
the
Whoa.
Hollywood.
Not anymore because for some reason they got woke. Which
That's another topic.
Which is this topic, actually.
Oh, is it? You think so?
it's a great segue into our topic of the day.
Chick-fil-A?
Do politics belong in the church?
And if they do,
Dun,
what's their
dun.
place?
Dun, dun.
I don't have that sound effect.
Or do the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That's why we need more viewers or listeners.
I even know it. Where it is.
I need to
You
get
need
the
to label
labels.
them.
I have the label. It's somewhere with that.
Do you have a big old soundboard? Like a mini soundboard?
No.
Oh, surprised. Or automate them with the MIDI keyboard.
Yeah, then I have to label those too.
That was
So
you.
labeling is the issue.
You just don't want to.
Doesn't matter what he has.
Anyway,
So back to Chick-fil-A. Have y'all heard what's going on with that?
so it's this video, right? I believe it's the son of the CEO of Chick-fil-A. They were in some sort of conference or church or something, and he was sitting down with Lecrae, the Christian rapper. That's another whole topic, rapping in church. Anyway,
Wow.
Whoa.
so he was telling the story about how he would like shine or brush the boots of people, and he had bought like over 100 brushes and handed them out to his coworker people.
Oh, this was with Passion, Louis Giglio.
That one, I think.
In Atlanta, that's huge, dude.
Yeah, and so he was talking about how people should get back to serving people in that way. And he got down on his knees and started brushing and shining Lecrae shoes. And you can like feel the obvious cringe. But it was like this whole thing. What I don't know, JP. What do you think? Did he hint at the woke ideology?
I think so, because the bigger the church is, the bigger the status is. I think the odds of them going woke is higher. Obviously, it was in Passion in Atlanta. probably one of the wokest cities in the country. I think they were trying to appease the woke culture,
What-
Please them.
please them or appease them.
So from what I understand is that this video had been out for a while. I think this video might have been like a year ago or something. And what's also something that has surfaced up is that Chick-fil-A had hired a diversity
Like consultant.
diversity inclusion and something for the company, but he was hired like last year or something, so this isn't anything new. So this is all just coming out now that Chick-fil-A is supposedly going woke.
But they've been woke.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they've been woke, but the issue is that the mainstream media is saying that even Chick-fil-A is not immune to the woke ideology because they're a public company. They would need to abide by the rules and laws of diversity and inclusion set by the government. What do you think, man?
What laws are you talking
This is
about?
in 2020. I'm just saying this.
2020?
Yeah, with when the whole George Floyd thing was going on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of lost. I know I just heard about a little bit of it, about something that they hired a lady, but I haven't really dug into it.
What lady?
I thought it was because they hired a VP or something that was a woke lady or something like that.
I think that was Twitter. Twitter hired the CEO of
No, but isn't that what Chick-fil-A did or something? They
No.
hired somebody that...
yeah, Chick-fil-A hired like a year ago maybe. Like it's a guy. He's the director of equity and inclusion, something like that. Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So why are they talking
Officer?
about it now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like it's all coming up now because all these other companies are. I don't know. It's just this whole woke culture stuff. Yeah, I think it comes in the light of the Bud Light thing. All the even and even I think who was it? Oh, Target. Target.
Yeah.
And then Harley Davidson.
What'd they do?
What they do?
They made a commercial with Bud Light.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And so now they're calling it the Bud Light effect. And they're trying to put in Chick-fil-A in that mix as well. But Chick-fil-A had already done this like a year ago or 2 years ago.
Did you see Ford's new commercial?
Oh my God. I told my brother, like, you have a gay truck.
Have you seen the video?
What happened?
So it's like this Ford Raptor going through the mud. It's mudding. It looks all tough, right? Like a normal Ford commercial.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like a car wash or whatever. It gets
Yeah.
clean, and then it comes out all rainbow color.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. A rainbow truck.
So much for if you love the Lord.
And it's
drive
not
a Ford.
it's not God's rainbow.
No.
Yeah,
It's a different kind of
Ooh,
rainbow.
let's talk about that real quick.
Segue.
Segue into
Or off topic.
or off topic.
Or similar.
Something about that. But about the rainbow being used as the pride symbol or flag. What do y'all think about that? Even though it was a promise from God to us that He would never
Yeah.
flood
Flood
the
the
earth.
earth.
And that's the reason why he fled. One of the reasons why he fled the earth.
Yeah. I mean, it's becoming that bad.
It's like a slap to the face, I guess.
So y'all think
Yeah.
we're in a modern Sodom and Gomorrah?
It's funny you say that because I don't know where I heard it. It was a podcast or might have been like Tim Pool or something. One of the guys there said, if God doesn't burn down the United States, He owes Sodom and Gomorrah an apology.
Honestly, yeah.
It's extreme, I get it, but in the sense, it's like you can kind of get it, and like it's going crazy. All this stuff, I can't imagine you only by what you read from the Bible about Sodom and Gomorrah, but I mean, I don't really think it's too far off.
We're not.
Maybe not there fully as it was yet.
Not fully, because
We're
remember what
getting
these
there.
guys were doing.
Yeah.
These guys, everybody was bad. Just imagine at one point when they got the angels, all the town or most of all the town, all the men went looking for those men.
How many people do you think were in that town? Just the estimate.
It has to be a big town because remember Lot, they kept expanding and it got really big. So
Yeah. So what do you
It
think?
had to be a nice big city.
Maybe like this, San Antonio, like 2 mil,
I don't think back then there was that many people.
like
Anywhere.
100,000.
Maybe
So, because remember,
when Abraham is talking about the
is it
There was this
Abraham
many?
or huh?
where God tells Abraham, "I'm going to destroy," but he goes, "If
Yes.
there's this many people."
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, what if 10 people or 50 people or 100 people? So, there is good people in that city. It's just that it's overwhelmingly bad.
Well, I don't even think there was that because he said if there was 5, he says if there was 5, I would have not done it, or 10. So there wasn't even 10 people.
No. Well, Abraham's telling God if there's 50 people,
Yeah.
like, because he might know like 50 people who he thinks are good, but then he keeps going down and down, and so there's at least good people in the city, and maybe those are the only ones that God let survive. So it might have overwhelmingly be bad people, but don't you think we're headed that way?
Well, yeah, that's the end of when God comes back. What do you think he's gonna do?
Destroy America?
Destroy the whole world?
No. I mean, yes, and it won't be in a flood because he already promised that.
Yeah.
But it'd be fire, I think. Wasn't Sodom and Gomorrah fire?
Yeah.
Fire
Yeah.
and brimstone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard the Armando? There's an Armando. He says, because it's not in the Bible, he thinks that America will be destroyed by nuclear bombs because it doesn't show in the Bible. It's not like an opinion. He doesn't say it's gonna happen like this, but his opinion. I don't think so, but he says because it's not in there, or like this side of the world, because he believes it's gonna be destroyed. Like, but I don't see it that way.
What do you see?
Well, I don't know. Well, because a lot of people say that it doesn't show in the Bible, but I think what happened if he's talking about England, and we're part of England. Everybody sees us. We speak English, like England. The Spaniards speak Spanish, so technically we're all the same thing. It's not like we're a different. What happens if we're part of England or Rome and all that? I don't think so, but hey, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, could be. But I think it just goes back to, so like companies now, like, what do you think the church thinks in general about politics?
Depends on the church.
Denomination, maybe.
No, I think it just really depends on the location.
Location? Like in red or blue states?
Yeah, like if they're a church in the Bible Belt, you best believe they're gonna subtly push, or if not blatantly push their views. Like
yeah, I mean, the issue is not that if they do or not. It's, I mean, no, that the question is, should they be pushing it? Should that be a part of the message? Okay,
No.
expand on that.
Well, it's because you can't influence. I don't know. Because then they're saying it so everyone could have the same opinion. But what if you don't? I don't know. I don't know much like y'all, but I don't think they should.
Maybe.
I don't think they should. Not because I have a different opinion, but I think because you're at church to learn about God, not about if you want to change people's hearts or whatever, you do it by teaching the word of God, and God will change their hearts. I don't think there's no place for that, and because remember, isn't that what they wanted Jesus to do? Because they thought he was going to come free them.
Yeah,
so they wanted a freer.
They wanted a warrior.
Yeah, and he just
They thought he was going to be their king, which means the king was the political person back then too.
Yeah, and remember he never got into it too when they told him do this or do that, or about the taxes or the money. He goes, give what Caesar.
Yeah,
God.
He was mad because it was the what are they called? The Pharisees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they asked him, like, and he knew what their intention was. He asked him, well, what do you think about the taxes in the church? And him knowing like their thoughts or whatever, he goes, show me the currency. Who does that belong to? Who's the picture of on the currency? What Caesar's? Yeah, so give what Caesar's and give God what belongs to God.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Because I know what you're talking about. Because he says, well, let me go back to what you said, man. Do you think religion influences your political views?
I think so.
How so?
Well, because you vote where you believe in.
Because I think both parties pander to religious people.
Oh yeah, both of them do.
But what about your Christian faith or whatever influence you to go either way.
It really depends how you interpret the Bible and how you see it.
So it's not choose the lesser of two evils.
I mean, you kind of have
That
to do
too.
that now.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, in the past elections I voted conservative. That doesn't mean I fully support all the conservative views, like even the hardcore ones. Like,
So you think there are some issues that the church or Christian people are hard set on that definitely puts them in one party and not the other?
for sure, I think the biggest one has to be what?
Abortion.
There you go. I think that alone defines where you stand politically. Like, I have a family member that she's a Christian. She knows about God, goes to church every now and then, but she is a hardcore Democrat. We went to her house for, what was it? Like some pool party or whatever. And she comes out in her Biden Harris jacket, like hardcore. So, I mean, and I
Just
asked-
to tease you.
yeah, just to get like,
But do you think it's just to get you riled up, or is it that she actually
no,
believe?
she actually voted for Harris and then Beto.
But do you think she also believes in the abortion part? Because not all Democrats, I would say, are for abortion.
We've had this conversation, and obviously there are people that are like, oh, you're a male, you can't speak for abortion. Okay.
Yeah, you can't give birth. So.
I can't give. Let me identify as a female for a second.
Oh, there you go.
And,
That's how you get. That's how you get around.
That's
it.
your
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
and we just got canceled. Or Apple flagged us for inappropriate content.
It's gonna be explicit content.
Explicit,
Now.
I know.
Yeah.
But
No one sees us now. Now no one's gonna see us for sure, or hear us.
at least it's for fun. But we've had this conversation, and I'm like, hey, like the verse Jeremiah 29:11, where the Bible says that from the womb, even before the womb, I knew your name and I had a purpose. So that means God had a plan for you. God saw you as a human, right? So she asked me, like, are you for them banning abortion? I'm like, yeah, because to me it's a sin, and
She asked you.
yeah, and I'm like, it's a sin. People shouldn't have access to it because you're essentially, in my opinion, you're killing a human life. And she's like, well, doesn't God give us free will? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, people should have the free will to choose or not to choose, and if
No, the issue is not being able to choose. Is it right?
Yeah, because you can choose to murder somebody. You can choose
Yeah.
to do anything
Yeah.
you want. That doesn't mean.
Doesn't mean you're giving the free will to do as you want. No, you're giving free will to make a choice, and it would depend. The choice you make is either going to be good or bad, or good or bad.
yeah. And I mean, her thing is, females get the choice. Blah. And I think when Roe v. Wade was overturned, she's like, are you happy? I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. It finally overturned. But that's when I had the conversation with the rib over here, is that all those Christians, happy in D.C., supporting, I want to see every single one of them supporting a pregnant woman when she thinks about
In the
abortion.
church.
In the church, yes. Because we're real quick to play church inside those four walls, but when it comes to actually going out and leaving the church on Sunday and playing and being the church outside those four walls, man, we're real quiet. Like, how many people in the church that will go out of their way? And that's the thing with most Christians today. We like our comfort in the church. How many of them will make themselves willingly uncomfortable to help someone in a position that their only way out is abortion? Not very many.
Not to go into personal business, but did she have an abortion?
I don't think so. No.
So maybe because I think for me, every time somebody offers a like pushback for that, it's either they had one themselves or one of their closest friends or relatives had one, and they know the struggle they went through to do that, and that's why they defend it so much. It's not because it's good or bad, it's because it happened close to them.
I get that.
Yeah.
A lot of our personal experiences form our views and beliefs, so
But that doesn't make them right or wrong.
it doesn't.
It's morality, right? It's what is right now, what you feel should be right. So I mean, that's obviously the big one, right? And yeah, of course that one affects the way you think about a church. And I think because of that, you might see some churches being influenced, or maybe even like getting the courage to tell the congregation that one political party is better than the other. But
So let me ask you this, Abraham: do politics, forget the person alone, do politicians belong in a church, like as a decoration or as a chess piece?
I think we should never exclude anybody from the church.
No, not
You're
excluding.
saying as a platform,
as a
using the church as a
yeah,
platform.
like a couple weeks or a couple months ago when Mike Pence released his book, Cornerstone had him for a book signing, and they prayed for him, and the pastors were like, they said everything short from vote Republican. You know, I mean, with Mike Pence being there, you obviously knew who.
I think the church would bring on whoever wanted to come. They probably would, but I don't think they should. Does that make sense?
Where do you draw the line?
Well, I mean, over here at this church, AL, remember that black lady that was the mayor before Ron?
What was her name? Yeah, I know you're talking about.
She got the position because Julian Castro left.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like the interim. And she was doing re-election. And she went to that church and spoke. I don't know if she's Republican or Democrat. She's probably Democrat.
I think she was Republican.
Republican? Well, I mean, yeah. So she went to that church. She spoke. You know, they even had Coretta Scott King at that church. I remember because it was a
Ivy
big deal.
Taylor.
Ivy Taylor, yeah.
Oh yeah, the MLK's daughter.
Yeah, she was there.
That was pretty cool. Actually.
That was pretty cool because even Salvador came to play.
Yeah, that day.
And I got to meet Nick and Jessica or Jackie.
Jackie Velasquez.
That was so cool.
That was cool.
She touched my shoulder.
He hasn't showered since. He's still wearing the same outfit from that day.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never watched it. Oh man! And I was playing piano too. I was probably the worst piano player there, but I was playing piano.
Oh well.
Guys, this is for you, Jackie.
Yeah.
All off key, no skill.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but they're really cool. Anyways, we're getting off topic. So I mean, they both went there, and they're both political people.
She's Democrat, Ivy Taylor.
Ooh,
Oh,
she's Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe she grew up in church and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look, that was like maybe almost 10 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was in there 2014 and 2017.
Yeah, well, like 6 to 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she was there for re-election. But man, it's crazy how much a party changes in a few years. Back then, that's a cockroach. It's crazy how it changes from that time, because at that time, I don't think the Democrats were as crazy.
Oh, believe me, that time I can get behind some of their policies. Some.
Yeah, and she was a pretty cool lady. I'm not gonna lie, she was pretty cool.
Who,
But
Ivy?
yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, Ron won. Ron beat her, and then he just recently won the re-election.
What, his third term?
Probably something like that. And he's definitely Democrat, right?
He's in the middle. I think he's in the middle because when the whole Prop A came out, he was against it.
Oh, that's good. I mean, so they're not all bad people. But anyways, pandering in the church. Political pandering. I think you should not refuse anybody to come to church. But if they come for...
Not refusing, but like, let's say Abraham was the pastor of Wimberley First Second Baptist Church of God in Christ.
God, Baptist.
Like, there's a difference between if, let's say, Trump went up to Abraham, hey, can I go? You're not going to deny him. But, like,
Honestly,
Abraham or other pastors calling up Trump, hey, can you come to our church?
no, I would never call anybody to come to church. I would accept them to come. Like, I wouldn't refuse them not coming, but I also would not allow them to speak.
Just allow them to come.
Yeah, they can attend church, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, yeah, you're not going to come up there and try to influence people.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all seen the clip of Joe Biden, a black church?
What?
No.
He was so lost.
What happened? He went to a black church?
Yeah, it was a couple months back, and he was like,
He recorded it or what? Or he had a whole setup? How did he do it?
I don't know, but like he was up. You know how they have the pastor, and then they got the bishop, and they got the deacon, and the first lady. So they had him sitting up there, and they were jamming like they do, and he did not know how to act. Like he was clapping all off beat, like.
Well, because I don't know if you remember or forgot, but this is Joe Biden's clone. It's not the same one. This is version 3.
Is that the one that fell at the Air Force graduation?
That was 2. Now it's 3.
That's for another topic.
I'm gonna reprogram the script.
I thought you said Joe Rogan.
No, Joe Biden.
Oh, I'm not thinking Joe Rogan.
Would you allow a politician to come to your church, man, if you were the pastor, to speak to the people?
No, I think the same thing as you. They can come to the service, but not,
Oh, okay. Let me ask you this: would you let them use your church as a venue?
They can use the gym.
No, but they're like, if Trump, like, I want to use Maranatha, the sanctuary, not in the service. I want to use the venue to hold a rally.
Not during church service.
Not during church service.
No, it's just separate.
Separate, and I'll give you a very generous donation.
I don't know. That seems kind of difficult.
That's up to the pastora.
Let's say Manuel was the head honcho.
Wow.
That I think I had to think about a lot, pray a lot about it, and kind of think about it because I don't know. Somebody easily can just say yes because I'm pretty sure he's gonna give a lot of money, but I don't know if you want. I don't know.
So no, I mean, Manuel, you said that you agree with me that you would not let them have a platform.
Even if it was apart from the regular Sunday service, you wouldn't let him use your sanctuary to hold a rally.
I don't know. It just seems like no.
It kind of, I'll see it as if you took his side, kind of. Not his side, but you, like, will vote for him. Because, you know what I mean? That may seem how.
Well,
maybe.
If he ever did, if I would consider it, there would have to be like a lot of, what do they call them, stipulations. He could not say anything about voting for him.
I would have just said no cussing, no nothing like that.
No, for sure. I think they all would respect
no
the church.
Alcohol
and
in the church, nothing like that.
I think they would probably find, and I would think it'd be a politician that had gone to church before. Maybe they grew up in church. That's probably the only way somebody who is a politician would ever get some kind of opportunity to speak at a church.
Not really. A lot of big churches.
No, but I mean, that's probably more favorable because they would know what not to do and what to do in the church.
A quick question on that. What do y'all think of politicians exploiting their religion or their faith to get votes?
They all do that.
Yep. All of them. Even
Obama,
the Republicans.
Obama.
At least the Democrats, you understand, but I know a lot of
Trump. At least Trump said he had gone to church, but he wasn't really.
Well, he's honest though.
Yeah, he doesn't say he's a Christian. He's a newborn Christian.
Yeah, he doesn't pander.
No.
He kind of sees the Bible and all that, but he doesn't. He's not saying like, oh, you know what I mean? I believe this, I believe that, or
like Biden. You know, the thing.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, what does the rib think?
Rib.
About what?
Ooh, que la.
Well, this is the end of this podcast.
Thank you so much for dropping by.
Leave me alone.
The Rib is just now tuning in. Welcome, Rib, to the podcast.
No, really, about politician exploiting the church.
Yeah, like, for example, let's say Trump, for example. Even when he was in the private sector, I would never seen clips or footage of him going to church. I mean, we don't have to see it, but like,
I saw one where he was in a bench, but he was like actively listening to either it was, I can't remember if it was the music or the preaching, or it was like an offering time because he was taking out his money, ready to give to the church.
But in camera view, right, so they could see.
Well, I mean, they always put the guests in the front.
Oh yeah.
And so of course the camera's going to be hitting in the front.
That's stature.
Yeah. But Trump, he's been in TV and television.
He knows how to play the cameras.
He knows how to work the cameras and be in the right spot. And that's fine. And everybody does it. You can't say one doesn't and the other one does, or one should do it and the other one can't. So I had another thing that came up while we were talking about it, about this issue. What do you think about churches not pandering to the LGBT QIA ABCD NG.
The Alphabet Army?
Enye.
Or as I heard someone call it, the AARP Army.
Ooh.
Didn't you say that there were like churches that support that? Didn't you tell me that one time?
A bunch of churches supported. They're not non-denominational Christian churches. You know what denomination I see supporting them a lot are the Methodist churches. The ones with the female pastors. That's another topic.
Ooh.
But they're always wearing their pride stoles and they're having...
That's an oxymoron, women pastors. Eat.
I'm not a pastor.
Anyway,
so I'm fine.
keep going.
I don't know what that means.
Where they have like love is love, you're welcome here. And I get that, the church should be welcoming to everybody, but
At that point, you're
doing it for
you're agreeing with them.
You're agreeing with them, and you're doing it for visitors, and visitors mean what?
Money.
Cha-ching.
Tithes.
Yeah, more members means more money. I mean, it's the truth. It's a business, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you have to run it legally. You have to run it by a business.
Yeah.
Like a business.
So,
If God came, he would throw everybody out. Like
Flip
back then.
tables.
Exactly. It shouldn't be a business.
well, in the eyes of the government, it is a business.
It has to. I mean, because someone's got to run the money. Someone has to know where all the funds are going to.
Well, yeah, but meaning like a business, it just makes it sound like they're a business, like they're doing
Yeah,
it more
it
for the
is.
money than the people.
No, I'm saying it's also a business.
Oh, okay. Under the law, yeah.
Yeah.
Non-profit.
That's what I meant, yeah.
But yeah, of course, I'm pretty sure people do run it as a business. You shouldn't.
But they do.
But they do.
So do you think this is going to... It's like you said, Manny, before. I can't remember exactly what verse you said. But that there would be like false prophets and false doctrine that people will believe. They'll believe anything.
Yeah. Well, that's what it says in the Bible at the end. The apostasy is going to hit first, and people are going to believe, and he's going to give them to that they don't. Even now that they don't want to listen to God, he's going to give them away to what they want to hear. He's going to make them believe the lie because they don't want to know the truth, or they don't want the truth. So he just says he's going to just make them believe that lie.
So let me ask you all this. How can one continue being a strong Christian, strong in the faith and in the word during these woke times? Because usually the past couple of years, woke month would hit. They'd be woke for a month, and, come the month after, it's over. But lately it's been woke 24/7. So
that's how it's supposed to get. It's going to get even worse.
So how can we as Christians continue to, or better yet, let me ask you this. What can we do to keep that wokeness out of our church?
Oh, out of our church.
From the small church to the big mega churches, what can we do as an individual?
The same thing everybody knows, but we all get lazy and tired. It's like the same thing on Matt TV. Did you ever see that? Where
Kaba?
No, Matt TV. That's SNL.
Oh, that's right.
When they were trying to lose weight, he had two secret ingredients. It was just a card. It said move more, and the other one said eat less. And he goes, well, how can you do this? And he goes, I gotta move more, and he flipped and eat less. It's simple like that, but sometimes we make it complicated. Like the Bible, you know what I mean? The more prayer, it's simple. Like you just gotta pray more, you gotta fast, do all that. It's just it gets hard. We don't want to do it. I say it for myself. We all know what it is, but sometimes we don't want to. I guess it's just paying the price.
I would agree.
We all know how to lose weight. Everybody looks for diets when it's simple enough. Walk a little more, eat a little less, and that's it. But I think the Christian life is the same thing, but it gets, I don't know.
So you think we're all looking for that magic pill that it's gonna not make us do the hard work, and it's gonna cure everything?
Yeah, I think that's what religion is pretty much. You try to find things to do to, some will get you there, but not. You don't want to pay the price, You want to do what you want to do, but
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I wouldn't disagree. I don't really think there's anything else we could do. Because anything else you try, like make the worship better, make the preaching better, bring a better word, or disciple people better, none of that is going to work if you don't have the foundation of reading the Bible and praying.
yeah, that's where everything starts, and then from there, you start doing other things. But I think that's the basic.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you all this: are you all ready to defend your faith against a woke person? Because
How so?
they're getting more and more bold, and they will straight up tell you you're wrong.
Well, I
Obviously
think,
that's their opinion, but how are you going to defend your faith?
With the Bible.
yeah, but I also think you only get to that point if you are looking for a fight.
That's true.
Most conversations that happen that way, where people start yelling at each other, is because you're challenging someone's opinions outright in the public space. You're challenging them on what, like if protesters, right? There's protesters and you go yell at them. No, you're wrong. You're going to hell. Whatever. That's when you get into this back and forth of them challenging you and you challenging them. Where it works better and how it should work is if you talk in a quieter setting, respectfully, and not demanding that they change. I think there is a lot of people like that we know, or at least that I know, like at work, who are definitely not Christian and who are definitely into that LGBTQ ideology. But I don't treat them any different. I don't even outwardly say I'm a Christian. They just know by how I
He
am.
wears a shirt that says "I am a Christian."
Yeah, there you go. And so that's how you get people. You have to lead by example. You have to be the example that they look at. So if for some reason they ever doubt what they're doing or ever get into that conversation with you, they know that you're not gonna just beat them down to the ground with Bible verses and you're going to hell because you're doing this. No. So
well, you can say that they're doing wrong, but
No,
I'm not
yeah.
about saying going to hell, but
yeah, that's
you
what I
can
mean.
you got to tell them that they're doing wrong. It's
Yes,
not-
yes, yeah. I don't say that I condone what they do. I'm just saying that I don't outwardly say if you don't repent, you're going to hell. I say it in a way that, look, I know what you're doing and I don't support it, but I don't. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna disrespect you, because God says to love everybody. If you ever need something, I would tell you that what you're doing is wrong, but I'm not gonna condemn or judge you, because I can't do that. Because I think you're called to love people. That's how you get people. You can't get people by always judging them.
Well, not judging them, but you got to tell them when they're wrong.
Yes, I get that part, and I do. Trust me, everybody knows where I stand.
Do
But
they? They
yeah.
ask, hey, we want to go to church with you. Where do you go?
Oh me. Oh, me. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll send you the YouTube link.
Passes the collection plate to himself.
There you go. I collect offerings, so you better send. I give you my Venmo.
Wow.
La
Yeah.
obra.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't yell at people.
No,
That's what those people give. That's why those people give Christians a bad name, because
Well, it
they're
just
always.
depends. There's some good people. I mean, I've seen Pastor David Lynn online. He's pretty good. He preaches in the streets. I like him. He's really. Sometimes it takes courage. Like he's good. I think like what you say. He confronts them, but he's always with love, and he's always telling them. But he's telling them you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong. You know what I mean? I wish I could tell you otherwise, but he still says, I'm your brother. I love you, man. I understand. I went through all that stuff too, and this and that, and and he explains to them. He tells them straight up, but he doesn't be like, you know what I mean? He's not like the other what is it? Was that other church? Remember, they talk about they do the signs and you're all going to hell and stuff like that. Something the Baptist, something Texas. You know what I'm talking about? You haven't heard him Rogan like a long time ago. Those people that church, that Baptist something. I forgot the name of it. That they go and they put all these signs and they start yelling at people and saying all this even like things I think you shouldn't even say. They're saying it because
Is it with that pastor that has like a bunch of money buying private jets and?
Oh no, it's not.
Oh, then I don't know.
Oh, that's in Dallas.
Oh,
Kenneth Copeland.
yeah, that dude.
The Lord said, "I gotta buy a plane to go evangelize." Well, he bought 2 private jets, literally with the times. Yeah.
He looks like that guy from The Mask, the evil guy,
Oh yeah.
Dorian. I can't believe I remember his name. Your thoughts?
The rib has no thoughts.
I'm not really into politics.
Rib's gonna rib.
Rib is gonna rib.
Any other opinions about it?
Oh, isn't it the Westboro Baptist Church?
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, too. You know what I mean?
The way I see it is like what they would always say they're at the church by Vance Jackson. The only thing I remember from all the sermons is people want to see a sermon before they even want to hear one. So I agree with him. Like if someone I don't believe in, yeah, I'm gonna show them God's love. I'm gonna do what I can. Am I gonna tell them they're wrong right away? No, because I believe there's a time and a place for that.
I would take it as you're not actually serious because I've already know how you are.
Exactly.
Whereas many just know how you are, so he's who is this guy? I'm just putting the walls because you're just out of
Who
the
is he to
gate.
tell me
Yeah,
what to
out
do?
of the gate, you're just accusing me of stuff.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. Like where Is it that the lady that goes to Jesus? Did they want to stone her or something? And then God, he talks to her and and then he confronts her. He goes, "Well, yeah, you've been having 5 husbands."
At the well?
Yeah,
The
the,
well.
the
The
prostitute
woman at the
lady,
well?
yeah.
Yeah,
Prostitute.
yeah. But he goes, "Go and sin no more." You know what I mean, and stuff like that. And like you're saying, like they didn't go all out. Like other people around him, the religious people were condemning her already. You know what I mean? He showed her love, but he also said, don't do it anymore because you have 5 husbands.
Yeah.
He didn't say, you're going to this and that, but he did confront her, but it
Well,
wasn't in a way where,
Then again, Jesus knew everything about her before he even met her.
yeah.
When I don't know anything about Abraham, but once I have that relationship with him, I can tell him
Well,
things.
no, you can always start. We're all sinners at the end of the day. So no matter what you are, you know what I mean? You never have to say, like, let's just say if he's gay or something like that. You never have to go like that. You can always
Who,
just
me?
say, no, anybody you're talking to. Or anything like that.
So
like,
that's your Bud Light in the fridge?
You can just say, we're all sinners. We all fall short of the grace of God. We all need God, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean because of that we're all sinners. That you have your problems, I have my problems. You know what I mean? So everybody is a sinner, even as a Christian. It says there's nobody perfect. So you can technically say that to anybody in the world, and it's pretty much true, even as a Christian, because we're all sinners. And it says in the Bible, anybody who says they're not or they're perfect is a liar. And then they're more of a sinners because they're more of a liar. If you find somebody that says they're perfect. So if you start off like that, saying, we're sinners and God came and died. He died for us, something like that.
Yeah, you can always say that. I agree. But it sucks because nowadays all these social media Christians give all the Christians a bad name. And so once you start telling people that they're a sinner and because I'm a sinner too, they're gonna say, "Well, why should I even believe you if you're a sinner too?" There's a bunch of rebuttals that they give, and then that makes you not credible enough to even say that you're a sinner as well, because they're gonna say, "Well, see, you're not even perfect either. Why am I gonna go to this religion where they're just gonna judge you for everything you do?" And because of this social media age nowadays, that gives that opinion about, or that view of Christians that's bad, I guess, and that's how people already put us in a box, because you're one of those people that judges everybody.
Yes and no, I guess.
And that's why I think it's a better to have and to start a relationship with somebody new in a way that is not judging right away. Because even saying you're a sinner and I'm a sinner too, that's already judging them. And I get it.
Well, no, you're not going to start. I'm not saying you're going to just walk to the first person. You're a sinner. Now, if you're doing if you're passing or you're saying, you start off with, "Hey, how you doing? Jesus loves you." You start off like that, and meaning that he came and he died for, he died for you. Stuff like that. You're not just going to go up to people and, start. I don't know. I think there's a lot more. I think we're just talking
because I've never had the experience of that, people yelling at me and accusing me of calling them sinners or whatever when I do talk to them about God. It's always because I've already had some sort of relationship with them.
Yeah. I think
and that makes it so much easier because
I think it's
they
different.
respect you in a way that, okay, I already know him. I know how he is. If he's telling me he's a Christian, yeah, I get that because he's like this. And maybe it's credible, the things he's saying, because I already have this established relationship where I know he's not saying it out of judgment, but of something he's lived.
Yeah, well, I think there's 2 different types. And there's a type where if you're working with them, of course, you're going to be with them. So they're going to see you. But if you're going out there and talking to people or giving tracts, your mindset's going to be a little bit different because you kind of have to kind of go a different way, If you're living with them or you're working with them, you're not going to just do that because you can see them every day. So you're going to slowly get to it.
And because that's how I think it's better to get people. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, the roadside preachers or whatever. I just think it's a brute force way to get people to, maybe some people need that. Some people need a wake-up call, somebody telling them they're doing wrong, and that's what makes the switch for them. But I think for the most part, at least in my opinion, I think it's the people the people who you can have this interaction with first, and then through your example, through the way you live, and then you telling them is how you'll get them to come.
I think it's you could both.
They
I
they
think
both.
the street preachers have their way, and you have your way because you
Yeah,
work
yeah,
with them.
for sure.
Like I said, if you were gonna work with them, if they were gonna work with these people, it's different. They're there for a moment, so they're trying to get as much as they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're trying to say like, because there are people that are down. You know what I mean? If you don't tell them what it is, then what's the point? You know, if they don't repent for their sins and all that, what's the point? You know what I mean? Because that's how it is a lot of these days. And I'm not saying like I'm not trying to say go directly like you were saying if you're like your employees or not your employees but your coworkers.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just like outside preachers.
Yeah.
Like, I understand them.
Yeah.
But I think you got to take everything with different. You know, every situation has its own way in.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think?
So what do you think about like preaching to people here first rather than going to the missionaries, going out to the country? Why don't you start here?
Like going to Nayarit.
I know. That's why it came to mind. I was like, because our mom's going. Our mom is going to, what is it called?
Nayarit.
In Mexico with
by
with
Puerto
our,
Vallarta. I told her just to stay there, but she didn't say.
yeah, it's like north of Puerto Vallarta. And I was like, oh, okay. She's never done that, so that's why I was like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Like, what's more important, like the
I
mission
don't
here
think-
or
I don't think it's
Or over there.
importance. I think if you're able to, you should go. I just don't know only if it's your calling to do that. Not everybody is able to do that. I can't do that. I have trouble talking already.
you
I
think
can't
your mom
talk
would
to
be able
people.
to? You think
I don't know.
she's-
But I also think you should try at least if it's something that someone like considers you for, maybe you should try it just to see.
Yeah.
And then I think that's what her mentality is.
Yeah.
No, I think she's always wanted to,
Yeah.
just never got to. But no,
I'm sure she's gonna like it.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think if you
Los
feel in your
montes.
heart, I guess, if someone considers you to do that, I think you should at least try it. But I don't think the question is of importance. I think you should try everything. Just that some people are good at some things than others. Like I
Yeah.
can't be a church street preacher. That's not my thing. I can't.
Yeah.
I can barely even talk on a podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like me. Like I can't do that, but I do help out with the hermano when he does it.
Yeah.
Like with the sound and all that, I'm there to support him, and you kind of feel like I can't do that, but I want to support him. You know what I mean? The things that I can do because I'm pretty sure he gets kind of depressed if nobody shows up. So you know what I mean? Some just does more support, and I mean the thing that I know is sound. You know what I mean? I'm all like, he sounds terrible. Like, let me help him out in that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially now because his sound can actually go further. With the other one, he couldn't, and everything sounded all distorted. Now, I have it loud enough and all that EQ'd right where the sound can travel a lot farther.
Nice.
You know, and the thing can go. You know, I can't speak as much like him, but I can do help him out in equipment or stuff like that.
Yeah, everybody has their role.
Yeah, that's your service. Yeah.
Because even like for all of us that like we're part of the worship team, right? We all serve in a way that helps new people or people who are already there, and we guide them into the presence of God, right? So we all do our part. We can all be preachers. We can, but in our own way. Maybe like when we're at work or whatever. But we're not all to be called to be preachers at a church.
No.
We can't be.
Some will be teachers.
No
Some
way.
will be, what was the Bible say? Teachers, prophets.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, we all have to bring souls to God, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning that, you know
that's
what I mean?
everybody.
Like maybe your next door neighbor or stuff like that. We all got to do that. But preachers, yeah, everybody has their own role.
Yeah. That's all I mean. Yeah, so I don't think it's of importance. Just try everything. Try whatever is in your ability to do. Whatever your gift is.
Because
you do
remember the
that.
disciples when that happened, where they were helping out the widows. They were at one point they were doing everything. They were preaching the word of God or ministering, and they were helping the widows, and they couldn't do it. So they said, "Let's get people to do the helping of the widows, and like that we can do what we got to do."
Men things.
No, I mean like,
I'm just playing.
well, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
he was saying because he goes, we can't just stop preaching the word of God just because we're helping the widows, which is good because we're supposed to. And then that's when they found the people to do that when they kept preaching, you know. So everybody had their role.
Yeah.
And of course, out of there, the ones that are helping widows, some came out as preachers, I'm pretty sure. But you know what I mean? They started from somewhere. And some just continue on. Maybe if that's God has you to do, you know, you were just a helper, you were just that.
So in this fallen political woke world, what's like Manny said, we have to just keep seeking God in prayer and reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only way it's gonna. I think it's more of a protection for you because then you could discern what's good and what's bad, especially with everything coming and everything becoming woke and
all the bad being good and good being bad.
Yeah, there you go. We're gonna have to learn how to discern these things. So, does anybody else have any opinions, final thoughts?
Bud's final thoughts. What you got?
Flood report.
I mean, I just said it.
You have a really sassy host.
Now I need the bread, the cheese, and the mayo to give their part.
I thought you were talking about her making a sandwich.
I'll be the cheese monster.
Wow. But yeah, any final thoughts?
Ooh.
Well, all right. Thank you so much for joining us for the sixth episode of Church Culture. If anybody is listening, Sandra, go ahead and let us know what you think and what topics you might want us to talk about, or you want us to expand on other things. But all right, so thank you guys for coming, Manny, for showing up again on this rainy, muggy Sunday. We'll be back next week with another episode. If we get some suggestions, we will definitely consider those, but we'll try to get a topic ourselves and hopefully study all week so that we can finally come with our own opinions and stuff. But yeah, thanks.
Peace.
Oh yeah, especially not at work, especially if
Yeah.
work environment, you can't be doing that.
I'm not saying like right there you're gonna be like, oh, you're sinning this and no. I mean like
going to
hell.
Hey, it's like if I known Abraham for 5 years, we have the confidence to tell him, hey Abraham, the way you run this podcast, I don't like it. But if I just met Manuel, I'm like, hey Manuel, I don't like the way you sound on the podcast. You know, he's gonna take more offense to it.
Well, neither does he. He would agree with you.
I was just gonna say that. I agree with you.
But let's say he did it right. He would put more walls up, and he would try to fight it more.
Yeah.
Then with Abraham, we could kind of work it out and counsel it out, and he'd be like,
There's a relationship.
"Oh, how come?"
Yeah,
you know?
because